Hey everyone, welcome back to Poplar Preparedness. Today we're going to be doing a little whiteboarding, talking through what happens with shortages. Where do they come from and what do they inevitably lead to? We can see this throughout history. We see Rome, we see Germany, we see France before that, we see just one nation after the next. Spain and, this is the logical progression of what happens when a country starts devaluing their money. So where does it start? They print money. That's where it starts. They print money, and that inevitably leads to inflation. Are we seeing inflation? Yes. Yes, we're seeing inflation. Now, inflation has a direct result, which is what we're seeing right now, and then it's going to have a delayed indirect result, and that almost always happens. So the first thing is people stock up. There's that word that goes around there called hoarding, right? Hoarding happens. Now, you may be picturing a little old lady pushing a buggy with mounds of food, and that's your picture of hoarding. And not to say that doesn't happen, but that's not what we're talking about here, and that really doesn't have that huge of an effect. I'm talking about companies hoarding. I'm talking about companies that have a warehouse of food and they just go, well, this is something we can sell tomorrow or next month for more than we can sell it for today. Let's just hold on to it. A couple weeks, month. They hold on to it because they know the price is going to go up. The people aren't willing to pay for it right now, but tomorrow, the next day, they will pay for it. And that will help their bottom line. So what they do is they start stockpiling warehouses. You'll see this, that the delays in shipping actually work in the favor of the company that actually owns the items. Now, what's the indirect? What's the indirect here? When inflation happens, usually what will happen is, and we haven't seen this yet in the United States, but in some other places, we see price controls. We will see this. We will see this in the United States, we'll see this elsewhere. As inflation goes up, people start to complain more and more, and the government will institute price controls. And what do both of these lead to? Shortages. Shortages are the inevitable result. If the price of rice should be $5 for a 10-pound bag, and yet the government promises it to everybody for $3 a bag, what's going to happen? Well, everyone's going to go out and buy it, right? And you're going to run out. So how do they block that? How do they stop that? Well, it's real simple. Rationing. Rationing happens. They say, well, it's $3 for a 5-pound bag, but you can only get one per week. Here's your stamp. Here's your stamp. Bring it in. Your ration coupon. You'll get your allotted amount. Look at Venezuela. Look at Zimbabwe. Look at other countries that are going through this right now. Look at countries like Venezuela. I'm not making this stuff up. This is exactly what happens. Now, a lot of people don't think about this right here, that individuals and companies start to hoard supplies as they see the price rising. And this is where we are right now. We're seeing companies holding on to product, right? They're holding on to product, which is leading to shortages. Oh, well, you can't get the right brand of whatever you're looking for. You guys need to suck it up and stop complaining. It's not complaining. It's realizing this is happening, which is leading to shortages, and we're looking at this in the future. Rationing. And oftentimes, this leads to war. War and that. That's what happens. When there's only so much food to go around and people realize that there isn't enough food for everybody, they make sure that the people they like get the food. They make sure that the people that they don't like don't. They either need to get out of the country, they get pushed out as refugees, they get isolated in rural communities, which is often what happens. Usually in countries that don't have a strong split, it's the people out in the rural country that get cut off. The food distributions take place in the cities. The troops go out to the countryside to take all the food, but then they distribute it. So right along with rationing is confiscation. Are you seeing why we're a little concerned when we're seeing shortages? Are you seeing why people are getting rather nervous when they see shortages? A lot of folks have enough food. They have some food put away. But this is freaking them out because they've actually read history books. They see the news and they see what's going on in other countries and they see the shortages and they see the rationing coming. And they know that when rationing starts, government controls take really hard root. You either need to be standing in line and doing what the government tells you to do, or you don't get yours. And you're not allowed to buy it elsewhere. The black market is super, super expensive. The only way you get food for your family, if you need it, is by going through the approved, legal rationing system. And if you have too much, confiscation. Now, I've said repeatedly to people on this channel and such like that in the comment section below that I don't see the feds or whoever going door to door, kicking at people's doors and taking their canned goods. What usually happens is people who have a warehouse full of stuff, if you have it on pallets, if you have pallets of canned goods, yeah, they might come in and take that out. But is it really worth their effort to like go after individuals who have a little bit too much in their pantry? Probably not. Now, your local government may be different. Your neighborhood watch people may be different. Your HOA may be different if you live in the city or something like that. But confiscation, you lose the right to private ownership. And if you're not on the approved list of people who get to eat, then I'm sorry, but and they're never really sorry, because the people that don't get to eat aren't really human anyway. That's what they say. That's where it goes. That's where it goes. And we're here. And we're hoping that these shortages resolve themselves and this inflation resolves itself, because we don't like where that goes. And you need to be thinking about where that goes. And thinking about whether you need to make some preparations. Because war is very ugly. It's horrible beyond belief. But that's where that goes. All right, Steve Poplar, out.